Hello and welcome to Sestra-Tainment. I'm Lenora.
And I'm Dee.
And we're coming to you today in regards to
Everything Entertainment.
All right.
So,
sis, you are up first this week. What you got?
All right. So, I want to start off with, it's a movie that I watched a while ago.
Okay.
But I want to start off with it. It's called Joyride.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is, it's an all Asian cast. Well, no, I think it is an all Asian cast. Wait,
okay.
Let me see. Yeah, they're all Asian.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There you go.
So yeah, it's all Asian cast, and it is a bunch of young ladies that a lot of people do know. Some people do know them, some people don't know them. So a lot of people know one of the characters because she was on Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So, all right. So the characters' names are, you have Ashley Park as Aubrey.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Audrey. My bad. You have Sherry Cola as Lolo.
Okay.
You have Stephanie Sue as Kat, which is the one from Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay.
And then you have Sabrina Wu as Deadeye.
Nice.
Yeah. So they're all friends. Basically, this is kind of like I don't even know how to explain it, but it's funny. All right, so what it is that it starts off where it's these like Caucasian parents, and they're at a playground, and the Asian parents walk up with their little girl, and then they go, "Hey, can our daughter play with your daughter?" And they're like, "Why? Because we're the only Asians out here." And she's like, "No." And then you see her come from behind. They adopted a little Asian girl.
Yeah.
So so that's how it starts. But then it immediately goes from sweet and like warm and so cuddly.
Yeah. So
to
cute.
then going to the kids saying, "You want to play with me?" And then they go on to play. So now Lolo and Audrey are playing, and the little boy comes over. He was like, "Hey, no slide for ching chongs or something like that."
Oh, terrible.
And the girl Lolo just like looks at him and like cusses him out, punches him in the throat. And then she's like, and then they looked at each other and it was like, "Are we going to be best friends forever?" Aww. So I thought that was kind of cute, but it goes from a sweet moment back to a mean moment back to sweet. So I thought that was kind of cute.
Because I thought that's in the preview. I feel
it's in the
that's
preview,
what I saw, right? Because I was like, oh, that looks like it might be interesting.
Yeah, it is cute. So so you do have you have Audrey, who is going up for a job promotion, but she has to go to China.
Okay.
In order to get this job promotion. So because she's the only person in her firm that is Asian and female, she gets to go over to China, and they're like, "Oh yeah, because you definitely speak like Chinese, right?"
Right.
She's like, "Yeah," and then she like makes up some stuff. She does not speak Mandarin whatsoever.
And Mandarin is one of the hardest languages to learn.
Oh, really? Yeah, she knew nothing. So that's why she got her friend Lolo to come with her. She was just like, "Yo, you come with me, then you can be able to. You can see your family because she knows close to her family. She's like, you can see your family over there, and then I can be able to have you with me to talk to different people, translate with my boss and all this other stuff." So she was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, I'm gonna invite my cousin. Her cousin is Deadeye."
Oh.
Now, what happened with the cousin is like something that happened before. I can't remember what it was, but Deadeye's a little out there. I love Deadeye.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah, the girl's name is Deadeye.
Oh, okay. Sorry, a character. Got it. I was like, am I supposed to know Deadeye from something? Okay, got it. It's a weird name for a movie or show or whatever.
So Deadeye. Well, they make a joke about that. It's like, why do you call you Deadeye? And then you look at her, and she just has like resting bitch face.
Oh.
But then like. Her eyes are like really low, so then they're like, "Oh, makes sense." Okay, yeah, okay. So, so now Deadeye's there, and they're like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like, "No, I don't want Deadeye to be here." Blah 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 blah. So he was like, "Well, look, once we get to China, then I have my friend such and such, Kim, Kat, my friend Kat, and we can hang out together. She's a movie actress over there, blah, 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 blah." So then she's like, "Okay, cool." She's like, "I can't believe, whatever." And they all hang out. Then they're like, "Okay, so we have to get from this place to this place." They take a train. All of their stuff, all of their passports and everything are all in one bag. Oh. Some things go down on the train.
Uh-oh.
Needless to say, no passports, no nothing. I don't even think they had their clothes.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like I don't think they had anything. Yeah. Okay, well I can't remember. But yeah. But anyway, so from there then it goes into like more silliness where they had to end up figure out a way to get from one place to another, and they had to get a plane, and none of them had their passports, so they were just like, oh, we're just going to pretend like we're a K-pop band. People go crazy for K-pop bands. So they called some people to come and be fans while they went to a airport hangar.
Yeah.
And were trying to get
so they were like, well, we don't have to show passports because we're famous.
Yeah, we're K-pop.
Who does that?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's asking J-Lo for her passport.
Yeah.
Who would do that?
Get out my face, peasant. Yeah, exactly. So that is it. All in all, it is a cute, wholesome movie. They end up fighting with each other. They get back together. They fight again. These two are fighting. One of this one is fighting this one, and then oh my god! But yeah, it is funny. Baron Davis actually makes a cameo in this. The basketball player, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a whole storyline about he used to play for the NBA, and then he moved to China to
play for their team.
Yeah, and then they end up hanging out with them.
Did he know Mandarin?
I think he did know something. I think I don't know.
You have to learn something.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. But it is a cute movie. Also another thing that they were doing is that Lolo and Audrey had always talked about, we can go to China and find your birth mother. Now they were in China. Lolo went and was like, we got to find your birth mother. Like, come on, let's go find your birth mother. So then that's a whole nother journey they're going down. So it's the I don't have my passport, but I'm here for work, and now I have to find my birth mother.
Right.
It's so much, but I think it's so funny. I like everybody in it. Everybody is funny. Like, the whole cast is hilarious. So that's what I love about it. I love anything that is hilarious, and they are. So I gave it up to kudos to these four ladies for kicking tail making this movie. Woo-hoo. It is called Joyride, and where can you see? I can't remember where you can see Joyride at. Where was it? You can watch that on Amazon or Stars.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I didn't know Amazon and Stars could do the same thing.
It was rent on Amazon or
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. All right. Yeah. Well, I want to talk about a hot topic. Hot topic. And it is Usher Bowl 2024.
Usher Bowl 2024.
Yes, because there happened to be a football game that was kind of going on
at the Usher concert.
That's
weird. And I didn't see it.
It seemed to have gone longer than his concert, which was like,
what? Because I thought his concert was like the longest in football history.
That's what I've heard. However, I don't know. But
then there was a game there. Like, no, I thought it's just called like the football stadium is where the game concert is. Yeah.
Exactly. And so and then what hit me is like at the end of the Usher Bowl, and there was confetti that was falling down, right?
Usher Bowl, yeah.
But would it have been the same color of confetti regardless of which team won?
Yes, it would have, because they have the same team,
exact
same
colors.
Yeah. Mom was like, San Francisco won. I said, no, Mom, the other red team. She said, oh, no, wait, no. They one's in the red. Mom, they're both in red. I said, one is like maroon and gold. The other one is red and yellow. They're the same colors.
So ridiculous. That's why I was like, who's got what? Who's on first? The whole 9 yards. Anyway, it was officially the quote unquote Super Bowl.
Yeah, whatever. Usher Bowl.
San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. And so basically Usher did have the longest halftime performance on record, I guess, at this point, which was 13 minutes and some change. 13. They just call it a 13-minute performance.
Yeah, wait, I thought it was like 15 or something. It was 13? Okay, yeah.
The Today Show says it was 13, so it was 13.
All right, whatever the Today Show says, they right.
They the ones.
They got it.
So, yeah, but anyway, so it was him, it was her. Look, it was him. It was her. I mean, like, literally
Usher,
the artist.
And then the artist her.
Yes. Yeah. Alicia Keys, Little John, Ludacris, Will I Am. Jermaine Dupri came out and said like one line. And
no, he was back up there with his little you know what he looked like? He looked like the boy off of Shrek that says, "Do the roar." I swear, when he was in that little outfit,
I thought
with his daughter's church socks on. Come on, man.
You can't say that. Well, and then somebody said the pockets in the socks, and I was like, pockets?
Yeah,
this
it was like,
but like
like
a cell phone could go into a sock.
Yeah, but I think that the socks were up higher, and then by the time everybody was jumping on the stage, I think they slowly went down further and further.
No, but all I know is everybody on TikTok was like, "Why is CeeLo on the stage?"
Yeah, do you thought it was CeeLo? I thought it was CeeLo and Kanye West.
Yeah, everybody thought it was Kanye West with the mask on. And I was like, no, as soon as the song started playing, I
didn't even hear the song.
That's Little John. I mean, not Little John. That is Will I Am because it's, my God. Yeah.
And then again, so I'm a little bit wrong.
So, anywho, so it was, I personally enjoyed it, to a degree. I do wish that he sung more.
Well, he did 95,000 songs.
No, what I am saying is not more songs. I'm saying more singing. He would start and then he would like dance and he wasn't singing. So it's like, yeah. He said, shorty got down. And then that was it. And then he's dancing and the words are going. But he's not actually singing along. If you pay attention, a lot of the songs he started off singing. And then he danced the ending of it. Yeah, so like once Ludacris did his part, Usher never came back and sung another word after Usher.
Usher's not Chris Brown. Chris Brown is like what? Chris Brown is like what, 30 and Usher's like 50 something.
30. I don't know. No.
Well, he's in big fives. He's in like 45.
He's like 40. I think he's 46 or 48.
Yeah, but you can't. I'm pretty sure it's hard for you to dance. And like, cause he's like pop lock
had
and
a residency 2 times a night.
That don't mean that he was standing around dancing though. He was grinding on the ladies that was in the VIP section.
He was. I watched the video. Look, so let me break this down for you.
Okay.
So on the Tickety
Talk,
I watched at 2 a.m. the entire Usher show. Because of the fact that somebody was in the crowd
and was
showing
live
the entire Usher show.
I love it.
So I knew about the women.
I wonder if they screen recorded their live.
I don't know.
That would have been smart because then be like, yeah, girl, I got the whole thing right here. You want to see it?
Yeah, you can save. You can download it once you got it on your live. So you never know. And then you can upload segments, the whole 9 yards. So, but I watched it and I was like, he was doing his, theatrics on his roller skates. He had where he was dancing and gyrating on the dancers on the stage. He had the people on the pole. Like it was a production.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, all right, now I know that your show ended very early December. The residency. The second when we arrived in Vegas on the 17th and missed it completely.
It's okay. It's okay though because I was not trying to like spend that much money.
Yeah,
for
in the end,
tickets.
the tickets got to like $800 or something crazy. So therefore,
people go crazy for Usher and Adele. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. So we ended up missing it. But the point, though, is that I would think his stamina would be up where he could do both because he's been doing both for probably a year. I don't know. Yeah. So therefore, I was just like, I was expecting and I don't know because with the girl who was doing live, I couldn't see from as far away as she was if he was literally singing every single word. It seemed like to me he was singing, but then I was like everybody was singing along.
But he had the whatchamacallit microphone, the Britney Spears microphone, so it was dangling in his face every time he was dancing. No, Britney Spears came out.
No, I know what you're talking about. The microphone, but I guess my point though is
but he didn't sing the whole songs though.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like he would start and then that would be the end of it, which I was like, I wanted to hear him perform. I want to see him dance too, but I was just thinking he would do both. Now, mind you, would I be able to do both? No. Absolutely not. So who am I to criticize?
I can't say the ABCs and walk up a flight of steps. That's not going to be able to happen.
Okay, that you have to. You have to work on that.
But also I think that his dancing, like, was he practicing on AstroTurf? Because I'm saying, like, for the practice, like, if you're gonna be
mostly on the stage. I mean, he did the AstroTurf for like the first song, and then after that, I think he was on the stage for the rest of it.
Yeah, because I feel like that's kind of hard.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just saying. So anyway, so for Usher Bowl, the songs that he sung were in the order. I'm so caught up in my baby, caught up. And I don't know what to do, but it seems you got me twisted. Right. I'm so. And then, hold on. What is that? Don't leave your girl around me. True player for real. That's not for real. You don't have to call. Yeah. Hey, it's okay.
Yo, I remember this. This is when he had the Heelys.
Yeah.
This is when he had the Heelys and they was all sitting in the car, pop locking and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Situation. Oh, then you got Superstar. You ready?
I apologize for everyone's eardrums.
I backed away from the microphone on purpose, but that's my take.
It wasn't bad though. It was good.
Earlier this morning, I was hitting that sucker. I was
what?
like, oh my gosh!
This morning, were you in the shower?
No. Let me tell you,
things sound different in the shower.
In the shower, it sounded horrible. My voice was still cracking. See,
okay, you hit the Alicia Keys in the shower.
I hit the Alicia Keys in the shower.
Oh, people.
But when I was driving to work, I was like, I'm gonna hit this. And then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, my voice has settled. And I got it. So therefore, I might do a tickety talk myself, or me showing Usher sing it, showing me singing it. And
I think you should do that.
I think I might do that, even though that time has literally passed. Like everybody was doing it about a year ago, and now it's probably passed. But anyway, so that's Superstar. Then you got I wanna make love in this club, hey, in this club, hey, in this club. Okay. Then you want to hit the if I ain't. Oh no, that was Some people want it all. You want to hit that one more time? You ready?
I said the same thing. Look, I'm sitting beside Eleanor and Risham, right? I'm in between them, right? And I said, "Oh, God bless that baby.
Oh goodness,
Lord bless her pudding heart."
Yeah, she kind of.
But then I was like, why is she singing it so high? I feel like it shouldn't be that high, but I think it was because they were doing the duet. Like she had to start off that song higher.
No, that's how she
for my
she
boo.
Sing
No,
always at that
I don't think it's that note high. I don't think it's that note high. I think that was higher, and that she had to do it in order to be able to match up with Usher's voice, so they could harmonize. That's what I think.
See, that's your background music.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Thank
Away
you.
from
Thank
the
you.
microphone, just give it
Thank
a
you. I
little
appreciate
essence.
that.
A little essence. Okay, and then it was my boo.
Yeah.
Remember when we were
Younger, you were my boo.
Okay. Then we went on to These Are My Confessions.
Just when I thought I said all I could say, the chick on the side said she got one on the way. These are my confessions. Man, I'm grown and I don't know what to do. I guess I gotta give you part two of my confession. Then I gotta tell it, then I gotta tell it all.
He didn't even sing that much.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He stopped before I was like, oh, confessions.
These are my confessions. And
the
the next
one.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next one was, I just want to take it nice and slow. Baby, tell me what you want to do. So yeah, you got that. Then it's got.
Oh, so they actually had the clock on the thing. So while he was standing there, there was a clock.
It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop.
Like they have a picture of the
Who's in
stage
street?
and he's
I did
standing
see
in it, and
that.
it's yeah.
Because
but the time shows like I think how the light was shining onto the stage. It was him standing there from in front of the camera. His head was at 12 o'clock, and then his shadow was at 7.
What? I missed that.
See, Usher be smart.
Usher be smart. For real.
Yeah, I gotta find that.
Yeah, you do have to find that. Okay, yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I didn't even pay attention to that, but it is so funny. I was doing I had this little box of cards or something, and they were like, so, what time was it when Usher was cruising the streets?
Yeah,
but I was like, it was so funny because it was like a black heart revoked or something like that. So it was like, okay, if you don't know that, then but it's like you have to be thinking of which Usher song it is. Exactly. You're like, wait, when was Usher cruising? What are you talking about? When was Usher cruising? And it was like,
but it's like that's what the question was. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. Where's Usher?
Where's Usher? Right. It's
7 o'clock. Where's Usher? He's just cruising the streets, bro. Come on,
the streets. What are you talking about?
He got a little really, really pretty thing that he's waiting to meet.
Waiting to meet. Yeah, exactly. So then you have I think you should let it burn.
And he all pop like
on the side. So she got one. No, that's
that is Confessions.
Because I wanted to hear Confessions so bad. I didn't mixed it with Let It Burn. Lordy. But doing that, I think he was trying to do like a James Brown reference or something. Did you pick up on the fact that he kept the one glove on for Michael Jackson reference?
No, but this is the thing, so you can see it. And see, it was him.
Yeah,
So
that
was kind of cute. Well, they did that.
So yeah, Let It Burn. Yeah.
And Let It Burn.
I'm not a big fan of Let It Burn.
Really?
That's probably one of the songs on this whole list, which he sung so much of that song. So
I think he really liked this. I feel like that song was out for a long time. It was probably like his longest number one or something like that. Who knows?
The party.
And what else did he do?
Let it burn. Then he went on to She's a Bad Girl. Let at me bad girl.
Oh yeah.
Hey, sexy lady. Yeah.
Hold me
That's okay.
tonight. I'm ready to be bad. I need a bad girl.
Okay, I gotta remember what this one is. You got it. Oh, you got it bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it was.
You got it bad. When you're on the phone, hang up and you call right back. You got it bad. When you miss a day without your friend, your whole life's off track. No, you got it bad when you're stuck in the house. You don't want to have fun, 'cause all you're thinking about. You got it bad when you're out with someone, but you keep on thinking about
really
somebody
good.
who got it bad.
We got it.
You see?
We ain't looking at no lyrics.
You nothing. This is off the dome.
It's off
off
the
top.
off the top. Off the top. No cap.
No cap.
No cap. Yeah. I said that. And I was like, am I even using that right?
Am I using no cap right?
Is the cap supposed to be that?
We're not lying. We're not lying.
Okay, so I used
no cap. No cap.
But yeah, like we are really good.
We are good at this.
Us. So yeah. Well, I mean,
you always do this.
with
Yeah, but
words to
like,
songs.
well,
Like,
I can't do that.
I don't know why.
I'm not.
Yeah. And then you got, oh my God.
I did it again, so I'm gonna let the beat walk. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I used to jam to that though, for real. I used to like that one. Then turn down for what?
Was it turned down for what? Oh yeah, because yeah. Fire
another round of shots.
Fire up the loud, another round of shots.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what we say. Fire up the loud, another round of shots.
Fire up the loud.
Fire up the loud, another round of shots.
That's just ridiculous and stupid. I used to think it was Friday night and another round of shots. That's
no,
literally
it's fire
what I
up the
used to
loud. Smoke
I didn't
the
know
reefer.
that was loud.
Yeah, smoke the reefer and give me another shot.
I don't do the reefer, so I don't
No,
know
well, there
anything
you go.
about
Well,
the
that's
reefer.
what it
Yeah.
is.
Okay, well, good to know. Now, it's only 14 years later.
Put that in your word of the day calendar.
Okay, that's my new word. It's fire up the loud.
Yeah.
Another round of shots.
You going somewhere and be like, ooh, it smell loud in here. Turn down for what?
Yes, that's a jam. So, and everybody was going on to that.
Yeah.
And then, last song. Yeah.
Watch out for outfits ridiculous in the club looking so conspicuous. Some power loose women all on the ground. If you on that bed steady, I'ma melt the cow. If you get about game, I'll spit the truth. It don't stop until I get them in their birthday suit. Hey, and then we give it them and they be off for their clothes and bend over to the front and touch your toes. I left the jag and took the rolls. Something where we put them on foot patrol.
No, I thought it was cruise control. Is it foot patrol? Okay.
No, 300,000. See, that's one I couldn't do. This one I couldn't do. I could do it if I'm listening to a song, but it's like I mix up the verses. Like I'll mix up the bars. And a freak in the bed.
Say, yeah.
Do the muscle. Why you sound like that? Do your muscle.
Homies, trying to get a little VI. Keep it down on the low key. Ow,
this is definitely. Was this the song from Off a Hitch? When they were dancing? Do the Q-tip. Do the Q-tip. Throw it away. I think it was. Yeah.
So, but no, that was. I mean, you got to end with.
Yeah.
Like,
and then
what else
I bought the A to the world. You kept saying that over
the
and
A
over
to the world, the A to the world.
Yeah.
And then and then they did the Atlanta clap.
Yeah.
The
thunderclap. Well, they just did all the stuff for the song. What was it?
Take that and rewind it back.
Usher got the beat and make it
booty go. Pow. Take that, rewind it back. Yeah. So, yeah. But no, I'm telling you, while I was sitting on my couch, not burning a calorie as he is out there performing, and I'm just watching. But I was like singing along.
Oh yeah,
Really
Me and the girls were singing along too.
Yeah, I appreciate a couple of things. One, that he paid homage to New Orleans. If people didn't recognize that, yeah, and these are things I noticed. I ain't looked this up nowhere. This is just what I saw.
He pay homage to
At the very, very beginning, when they were taking the camera through all the people, you had contortionists. You had people dressed like the old school jazz like outfits and stuff like that.
Okay.
You had the people on the stilt. It's like basically Fremont Street. Right there in the middle of the whole field. You know what I mean? So he was like weaving
to
through
Las Vegas, not New Orleans.
Las Vegas. Sorry, I'm saying New
New
Orleans.
Orleans is
Sorry.
next year.
Oh,
New Orleans is next year's.
I've been to both in the past.
But no,
6 months,
Super Bowl is New
yeah.
Orleans next year.
But no, I meant Las Vegas. So he was paying tribute to basically.
Yeah, because I was like, oh yeah, there goes the little Cirque du Soleil people.
Yep, you have your circle.
Yeah.
And then at the very beginning, even before the Super Bowl started, I was like, the pre-show was just on the TV, and they had Blue Man Group around and all that kind of stuff. So they were like, Vegas was everywhere, basically.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And then I like that he did pay homage to Michael Jackson, which they said originally was the very first performer to do a halftime show. Mm-hmm. Do you know why?
Because of in Living Color. Yeah. I did that. I talked about that. You remember me talking about that?
Maybe so. Yeah. So,
because of In Living Color, because everybody would turn to In Living Color, they had their own little halftime parody show. Yeah. And then they had the little time clock. And I remember that clock being there. I remember the little clock being there. So and then you flip back for the game because it was all high school marching bands.
Yep, exactly. So therefore they were like, no,
if
we
it
don't
wasn't
want
for
people
Keenan
turning
Ivory
away. We want to make sure that everybody pays attention. And so after that, they got Michael Jackson, and then that's how the whole thing started with.
I wonder if that's when the commercials started to blow up more too.
Probably, because if you think about
because I guess you don't pay the person who does.
Well, no, I think and supposedly you do the Super Bowl for free. You're not paid.
Is that a tax write-off?
Well, you do it for free. How do you write it off?
Because you're volunteering.
Not write off,
but I mean like not write off.
It's supposed to be for a marketing. It's like for publicity.
But I'm saying, would it help with your taxes? Is it going to help you pay taxes? Is it going to be like I donated my time? No. To the world, the entire
the government don't
world.
Care about your time.
The entire world for 13 minutes.
Absolutely not. Okay. Well. So, but I will just say that I didn't know this until recently, that you don't get paid to do it. It's all about the publicity of doing it. But at the same time, nobody is ever going to love the Super Bowl ad. Period. And consensus. Consensus.
No, nobody's ever.
Like even when Prince did it, even when Michael Jackson did it.
Prince did Purple Rain in the Rain. Best of all time.
How could you have anything? And then Michael Jackson, when he did it, he's popping up all over the stadium.
Yeah, he's everywhere. Yeah, Michael's over there. Yeah, and then he had all the pyro. What is it called? What is it called?
Pyrotechnics?
Pyrotechnics. I was about to say pyroglyphics. No. And I don't even know if that's not even a word.
Hieroglyphic.
Jesus. Okay. So, but they had all the pyrotechnics there. And I think that like, it was for him to do that big in like, what was it, 92, 93 or something like that? Yeah, for him to do it that big back then, like, that's what people are doing now. Like, the stuff that he was doing back then.
Insane.
For the Super Bowl, like, bro.
It was huge.
I said, and I want to have fire over here and then here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
that's how he is. He's a perfectionist.
Exactly. He's a perfectionist for sure. And so, but no, it was really a great show. Of course, on our Sestra-Tainment TikTok, I decided to, capture a photo, put it out there, and just say, hey, everybody, what did you think of the show? Let's discuss. And so a lot of people were like, loved it. It was great. I wish he sung more, songs. He didn't get enough time to sing all his hits. It should have been longer. And I'm like, they only give you so much.
Yeah, but they don't give you that much.
And the guy's had a 30-year career.
And he did 25 songs.
He did 14 songs in 13. No, 14 or 15 songs.
So he did a song a minute.
Yeah, 14 songs in 15 minutes.
Well, shoot, Alicia Keys did her own song.
Yeah.
She started off horribly with her own song. Well,
if you think about it.
And then Little John did his part of his own song. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised he didn't have the Black Eyed Peas and Luda and everybody. You know what I mean? He just didn't have enough time for it. So, everybody could have done
I wonder if they're going to start making the Super Bowl performances longer.
I don't know. But there is talk now about making the day after the Super Bowl a national holiday.
I agree with that.
They said because everybody calls it, there's 63% of people who call in the day after, it's because of the fact that they were up too late, they drank too much.
Watching the games.
And so therefore they were like, if you do it President's Day weekend, then you can have it like, so this upcoming weekend.
So you mean like they're going to change the date of the Super Bowl?
Well, that's what they're just proposing. You know, like if you have it the next weekend, then you can have it where President's Day is a holiday for a lot of people, and then you can just have it with.
I guess it has to be that time because of how the season goes.
Yeah, but I mean, you push the season back a week.
Is it 2 weeks that they're off?
Yeah, they're 2 weeks off in between.
In between from the until the Super Bowl.
I think it's 2.
So then you just push it back to 3 or something. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, that makes sense. You don't need
people to.
I mean, but that does make sense though. You know, for it to be.
They say that right now that is the only thing that is happening in, you know, the United States. Let's say for an American holiday, that it's must see TV. Like there's nothing else that happens.
Yeah, exactly. They said it was as many people that watched the moon landing or something like that. Oh, that was the highest rating thing since the moon landing. Yeah, that's what it was.
Right. Which they were giving all credit to Taylor Swift. So there you go. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
What?
But if you think about it, you do have a huge different demographic that was watching the Super Bowl this time that has never watched it before, never thought about it before. And you still have people, because I saw this also on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it this week, that there were people who were also like, I'm still not watching that game because people took a knee. So you have that whole thing too going on. Yeah, remember when Kaepernick and taking the knee and all that? So people haven't watched football since then. They haven't watched any of the games.
But that's an American heritage right there.
Oh my goodness.
No. And you can't do that to them boys that's on them fields because they be playing their hearts out. Sorry.
You okay?
I'm just saying, like that is like the American
pastime.
Yeah. It used to be baseball. No, baseball's everywhere now.
Well, they're upset because people were too woke to say anything or do anything or whatever they were thinking happened and Papa John's and whatever. So therefore, they just aren't still watching. So
Wait, Papa John's? What?
It's a thing. Never mind. Look it up. It's a Google.
Oh, with the guy from Papa John's?
It's something. Yeah. Oh, okay. So anyway, but I am going to end there. Because it's been a lot. But no, I really think Usher Bowl was amazing. I hope that everybody got the opportunity to see it, that you were with some fun people or friends, family, and that you ate and drank and you were merry and you were able to get home safely to your families or, you know, to yourself, whatever. But and who knows? Maybe in the future it'll be a national holiday right after, and everybody can sleep in.
It's going. Whoa, wait.
What?
So next year's going to be in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So that means it would be Super Bowl and Mardi Gras in the same week.
Oh wow!
That makes sense. Why they tape the plastic on the floors in New Orleans. That makes sense.
I mean, that is weird. That would be. Well, wait. Yeah, I guess
I'm sure it's going to be Taylor Swift next year.
It might depend on the weekend that it falls. It could fall the week before, because sometimes it falls the week before Mardi Gras, and sometimes, I mean, I guess like this time it was the week of. Yeah, but it
was a Sunday, and then Fat Tuesday was right there.
So
but then, I mean, that would be great.
Leap year shouldn't matter.
But this is a great. No, a leap year would matter because it would be an extra day or extra like.
But it's the end of February hasn't happened yet, so that won't matter to the beginning of the year.
But so I was just thinking, like, so who picks the performers? Because they were saying if it's going to be in New Orleans, they should have Lil Wayne and friends.
I don't know. And then don't say.
I thought
who makes the decision. I don't know if it's the.
Somebody
NFL
said something about Jay-Z was making the decisions.
He might. I mean, if you think
he got
his
hands and everything, so it's a possibility.
And if you think about it, it's possible because
who's going to say no to Jay-Z?
The whole thing too of the NFL and. Kaepernick and all that kind of stuff and the fallout of that. I think he did start getting involved in the NFL. And I don't know, because if you think about it, since all of that, we've had, I mean, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg and, you know, Eminem and them up there. And who was before them? I can't even remember. But we've had, some different.
Bruno Mars. And
you had Shakira and J-Lo.
J-Lo, Bruno Mars, Coldplay, Beyonce.
Yeah, I feel like that was before, but so it's been, you know, some definite diversity in the halftime show since then.
They said there was a woman who got the first woman of color to own a football team or manage a football team.
Yeah, I saw her handing the football over.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. Yeah, that was making history. I was like, that was amazing.
Okay, girl, I see you. true. And there was a streaker in the game, so there was that just in case anybody cares. But
nobody cares.
I mean, giving people what they want.
Did they see it? Could you see it on TV?
No, on TV, what they did is they said, like, they were showing a coach or something, and they were like, "Oh, there's a streaker over there."
So they just had to keep it on one person.
Kept it on one person, and they didn't show it, and they tackled them pretty fast. And I don't know if it was full streaker or just like somebody running across the field and took their shirt off or something.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, most of them already had their clothes off anyway. I don't understand how these guys can go to these games and it's 4 degrees outside and you don't have anything on but some body paint. How do you do that?
I don't know.
What is going on?
Mind over matter.
Well, I mind, so it matters. That's what I got to say about that.
But I will say this, and then I'm going to leave the subject alone for real. But it makes me wonder if, because it was Vegas, right? Mm-hmm. Vegas is huge. Like, of all cities, when you think about it, from one end of the strip to the other end of the strip, it is massive.
But so I feel like it's only massive just because it's like the whole area of Vegas is just a whole bunch of crap.
Right. But that's what I mean. It's like, so when you're in Vegas and it's a Super Bowl, does it feel congested? Does it feel crowded?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Because you have insane? Or is it more like there's so many places that people could be at? Like touristy stuff, like because you're there for the Super Bowl, the game, everybody's gonna be
but you're gonna be walking and stuff, and there's a lot of people. Even though it's a big place, there's still a lot of people.
Yeah, I know, but you also have the bus, you also have the monorail, you also
we just group on that.
I mean, it's all the bus. I've always seen the bus because you see the double decker bus. I never paid attention to the Deuce. For anybody who doesn't know, the Deuce, $8 a day, nonstop, everywhere you want to go, up and down the strip, all the way to Fremont. Yeah. So therefore, and that was one I didn't know. But for everything else, I mean, you can see the double-decker bus. You know it's a tourist bus. You just pay for the big bus and go on that.
I thought it was like tours at first.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So now I'm just wondering, you got so many people who gamble. You got so many people who are, going to a show. You have so many people who are going to the restaurants. You have so many people who, and there's so many.
That Caesar's Palace buffet line was probably ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. You probably had to be there at 4 a.m. to just get the buffet at lunch.
Well, no,
or be on a reservation.
You would have to have a reservation.
You would have to have a reservation. They probably were like, if you don't have a reservation, there's no need for you to even be here. You'll be here till 9, and then we'll tell you that we're closed.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
There you go.
We take our last reservation at 8:45. We'll tell you at 9. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm done. All right. Okay. I talked about that way too long, but it was great.
But no, it was good. It was a good thing.
Yeah, and we sung. I mean, we gave the people what they want.
Give them what they want.
So here you go. What's up?
All right. So what I have is on Netflix, and it is Griselda. That's how they say it on the show. I love it.
Okay. I know now what you said. At first
Griselda.
I was like, what in the
Griselda.
world? That's what they said.
Okay. All right. So,
the godmother.
Yes. So this is, so what I was trying to figure out, is this based on a true story? If this was a what is it called? Dramatization or whatever? Because a lot of things that happen in this is not talked about in the other documentaries about Griselda Blanco.
Oh, okay. I have to finish watching this.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was, they said she's smoking crack. And I was like, I don't know about that. They didn't talk about it or anything else. And they interviewed the people who were right there with her. Like the guy who was her right-hand man was in prison doing his interview for the documentary.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. This was a deep documentary, and nobody really, they didn't say anything.
The right-hand man that was her lover?
No, the one that was killing everybody. Who just like, all right, she'd be like, hey, go
do
that
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, take care of that. I can't
remember if he was cousin. I think he might have been a cousin.
But I remember his name on the documentary, but I can't remember who he is on the movie. But I mean, there's 2 different movies now. I mean, there's a movie and a TV show.
Yes.
The movie, I think, is better.
With Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Zeta-Jones. I think that is better.
I do remember that. That one stood out to me. Like, I still remember that, and that was years ago.
Yeah. And then this one, and I feel like that one shows her crazy. You know? I feel like that one shows it more. This one shows fear. But they were saying, in the documentary, they were talking about how she was not a woman that feared anything. She just like, okay, get rid of him. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to worry about watching my back. Can you kill those 7 people? Like, that's how she was. So this one with Sofia Vergara, This one is actually, she does a great job. It's a great show.
Yeah.
I love it. Mm-hmm. But because I know the stuff from the other ones, I know from the other documentaries.
Yeah, if you would only watch this,
because I seen 2 documentaries about Griselda Blanco, and I saw the movie
Cocaine Cowboys.
Cocaine Cowboys, yeah, and then it was something women.
I don't know. It's okay.
I can't remember what the other one was, but yeah. So, I feel like this one, the acting is great. The storyline is great. I don't know if the storyline is true. I don't know if it's false. I don't know.
Can I say that, and you might speak to this, I don't know, so sorry if I say it, but that Michael Corleone,
yeah.
He is suing because he said it is not a true depiction.
Yeah, see, I not get that.
So I'm like, is it or is it not? Is it too true that he doesn't want people to know that side of his mom? Or is it that it's not true because they're saying that she did certain things that he's saying, no, she never did that?
Well, I'm thinking, I don't know, because they don't even show her, so, she had a woman lover. They don't show her at all.
Oh, yeah. Why aren't they getting to
Not in this one. Exactly.
The good
stuff.
Like,
yeah. But that's the whole thing. It's like, so if they talk about it on like other things, and nobody says anything, it must be true. Yeah. Because when it comes up on stuff like this,
because otherwise people would be like, it's blasphemy. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Griselda Blanco is played by Sofia Vergara, and then there are some other actors and actresses in here that some people might know. You got Alberto Gorrera, Juliana Martinez, Martin Rodriguez. I'm trying to see if there's anybody. Vanessa Ferlito. A lot of people know her. She's been on a bunch of different things, but she plays Carmen, who is the best friend. But you do have some people in here that you've seen on things before, but you really don't know them like that. It's not a full, star-studded cast or anything like that.
Okay.
These are all still people that they're not, main characters in movies or anything.
Okay.
So, but what I do like is they did see. This is the whole thing. I didn't like it. I'm just gonna tell you. I didn't.
Well, you were thinking you weren't going to like it before you even watched.
Yeah, I know. But then I tried. I tried to like it.
Okay.
I tried to like it. And I couldn't. So basically, I don't know if it's true or if it's false with everything that happened. But from the other 3 things that I've seen to this, I don't think that this is a true depiction of Griselda Blanco. But if it is, I mean, regardless, the whole cinematic photography of the thing was good.
Yeah, it was
the
good.
actors were great. It made me want to buy a gold sword. Mikey P. Shout out to Mikey P. And so it is good. Like, you get through little backstories. You see they show how she gets different people to do different things for her. They talk about how this doesn't talk about how she was a womanizer in this one as much as the other ones did. So I don't know. Maybe somebody was scared when they made this because they were like, I mean, Griselda, she's passed away.
Yeah.
They don't talk about the drive-bys. They don't talk about nothing like that. So I was like, so what is this? It's garbage. Like, so it's not that good. Still watch it. I'm saying watch it it's not a good storyline because I watched the other ones. Right. If you haven't watched the other ones, watch this one.
Let me just say that I Googled because I was trying to figure out how much was true of the story. And it says, guess how much? I'll ask you because you probably will know.
The same amount as juice that comes inside of Welcher soda.
What are you talking about?
You said how much was true?
I didn't know. I didn't ask the question yet.
I thought you just jumped right in. I thought you just said, guess how much?
No, I said, guess how much? And then I said, you'll probably already know because you've watched so many things. How much money her Miami cocaine brought in per month for her? So like just telling it out of Miami monthly, how much money was she making monthly off of the cocaine across the nation?
$200 million.
$80 million. $80 million a month.
Yeah, she had nowhere to put all the stuff.
She didn't have anywhere to put all the money.
She didn't have.
You did not have a
literally
place to put all the money.
Like you walk in a room and it's like there's nowhere to put it here. It's kind of like, have you seen the movie Blow?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like that. They were in the house and just like, where do we put this
extra money?
It's like, make a hole in the wall and shove it in there.
We gotta buy a house.
You gotta buy a house to fill it with money.
Yeah,
the entire house was stacked with money.
And guess how many rumored murders she was personally implicated for?
All of them from 1979 up to 1990. I don't know.
200.
Only 200?
200 murders. Is that where she was implicated? She was implicated for 200.
I can believe that she killed 200 people herself.
Oh, not even her other guy?
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I don't know, because you got to think about it. She killed somebody when she was a child.
Did I know that part? Who did she kill when she was a child?
I don't know. But so her mother prostituted her out.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. So like if you know her,
maybe that's why she had no fare, because she was like, wow.
That's my thing. I see it like this. I see Griselda Blanco the same way I see the Joker.
Okay.
If you know the backstory of this person, you understand why they are that way.
They are the way that they are because of the torture that they've gone through.
Her mother, literally, a man slept with her, supposed to pay her so she can give the money to her mother, and he was like, I'll get with your mom later. So she goes back home. Her mother beats her tail.
Because she didn't come with the money.
Because she didn't come with the money. Lord. And then she had to go, then she had to go get a gun. She went to the guy's house to go get the money. Mm-hmm. And then he had a gun there. So she picked up the gun and shot him in the face.
And killed
him.
And
then went and told her mom. And then her mom starts fighting with her. And then her mom pushes her out the house with no shirt on. So now she's just walking around naked at 12 years old. First time she killed somebody, she was 12 years old. And she had been on her own since 12 years old in the streets of Cartagena.
Right.
I mean, well, was it Cartagena?
Medellin.
Yeah, Medellin. Yeah, Medellin. Yeah. So, I mean, so she's been through some stuff. When she first got married, she got married to older guy. I think she was 14 when she first got married to an older guy. Then when she got married again, she actually married a drug lord and then learned all the stuff from him. So I mean, it's like,
that's how she knew what to do when she came to America. It's like, I've been around this life.
That's another thing. This movie is talking about how she came straight from Colombia to Miami. She went from Colombia to New York.
Oh, yeah. They talked about her being in New York because of the fact that she had been in New York. Well, not when she left her husband, but that she had been in New York before because she had New York connections.
Yeah. So when she left her husband, the original story is, from all the other things, is that she had left her husband and he had shot her.
Yep.
And she fled to New York.
Okay, with her children.
Okay, and then New York, Miami, and then California.
But in this, they just skipped the New York part, took her straight to California.
They took her to Florida, took her to Miami.
She went to Miami with her friend.
Yeah, she went to Miami with her friend first, and then she has to leave. Her friend's like, you got to get out of my house because you're not doing this drug stuff in here. And then when she leaves, she ends up in California, but she stays there for a while or something like that. But she still goes back and forth.
Yeah, she goes back.
She gets her friend to work for her. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, but it's a story. I have to finish it though because I didn't mind it. I watched Cocaine Cowboys
too.
With her in it, and I didn't see the one that you said something with women. I don't remember seeing what that one was, but I do remember the other one. I watched the one with Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I'm watching this one, and I don't have a problem with it. But you are a purist, so you were just like, look.
Well,
you need to be as close as possible.
I think it's only because I've seen 2 documentaries in a movie, and now the TV show is something totally different. Yeah. That's what I'm like, man.
It's almost like a little bit lighter.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not anywhere near showing. I mean, she's had some deaths. Don't get me wrong, but it's not 200. You know, exactly. And it's not all at her hand. It's at a whole bunch of other people's hands. So yeah.
Oh no, it was called Narco Wars.
Oh, Narco Wars.
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Well,
that's what I had. Griselda on Netflix. I would say watch this one before you watch the rest of them.
So that way you won't be disappointed.
You will not be disappointed. But then you go and watch the real stories.
Watch the other ones, and then you'll go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, this don't make no sense. And then next thing you know, you're on Wikipedia. Googling everything. Yeah. You're going down a rabbit hole. You're going to end up watching The Godfather to figure out why her son's name is Michael Corleone.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
I love it though. All right, what do you have next, man?
I have a rabbit hole. It might be the name of the episode. I don't know.
But that's what we want to call it, rabbit hole.
Rabbit hole, write it down. Okay, got it. So, so the Capote Tapes on Hulu.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if you watch this or not, but if you are watching Capote versus the Swans, that is the Hulu show that is part of Feud, which is Ryan Murphy.
Which I didn't know that was part of Feud.
Yeah.
Until I clicked on it to watch it, and then the original. I mean, the
feud showed up.
Yeah, and you know how long I've been trying to find that feud with Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. I've been looking for it. Like last year, I couldn't find it anywhere.
So
I had to rent it.
Oh,
but I had to rent it in order to be able to watch it.
So now they brought it back because this one's on.
Yeah.
So they took it off because of that marketing. Yeah. So, but this is the documentary. So if you're watching the feud, what you come across is that Capote had, and you spoke about this just last week, I think, about Capote having the Swans and how he basically, didn't you talk to it? I didn't talk to it, did I?
No, I think we were just talking about it because I hadn't talked about the show.
Oh, we haven't talked about the show yet?
I think me and you have just talked about it.
Oh, okay. So
I guess we have to stop doing that so then that way we can
then we know what we've talked about.
Yeah.
So let's talk about both then, maybe.
Okay,
no, we can leave this show
leave the Swans separate.
We'll leave the Swans
Yeah, because
separate,
I want to wait till after it's completely done.
Okay. So then we'll cover that one separate. So for the Capote tapes, what it is basically is that Truman Capote, he is the gentleman who actually wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, okay.
So when you think about, Audrey Hepburn and Breakfast at Tiffany's and all that, so he wrote that. He wrote some other stories as well, and I'll get into it a little bit. But he actually was somebody who grew up very, average. You could say poor, not a privileged life at all, but he became the person that all the upper echelon in New York society and socialites wanted to be around. He had stories. He was fun. Yeah, the Page Sixers. He was that fun person. And it's like they actually said that he started off at the New Yorker magazine in the mailroom.
I believe that, yeah.
Like, that's where he started. And he was he went to school to be a journalist and all that. And then he came up with a story. And his story was so salacious about homosexuality when a time where people weren't really talking about it, that it ended up making it so that he was, the person that everybody wanted to be around. But basically, this is a documentary about Truman Capote and his life. And it really goes into his childhood. It goes into information about his mother. She actually ended up leaving him in New York City, or to go to New York City, excuse me. She left him with the family that was in, I don't know if it was Kansas, Alabama, Arkansas, somewhere like that. But he was somewhere in the South because that's why he had the high pitch, sweet, sweet voice, right? Because of the fact that he had the country voice. And so therefore, he was raised by two of his aunts. One of them was mentally challenged, but that one was actually his favorite. And so they even said, at one point, because they were doing a documentary, so it's all about different people who knew Truman. One person said that it was to the point that when his things were being sold, his effects, they actually found the cookies that his aunt had made for him when he was younger in his possessions. Like, he kept them with him. He never ate the gingerbread cookies from when he was a child and living with them. And he just kept the cookies and he would take them. They said everywhere he went, he just had little cookies with him. So, whatever. Anyway.
But that shows you that
he never
something,
ate them.
but that just shows you it's like, hey, all right, so he really been through some things.
Yeah, he's been through some things for sure. And so it goes into how he worked his way up from the New Yorker mailroom to being a socialite. It goes into how he really seems to have never truly felt love because his mom left him behind and moved to New York City. He just was always yearning for his mother's love. He was always yearning for anybody to love him. They said even in his older age, when they were like, oh, you're so beloved. Everybody loves you, Truman. Everybody wants to be around you. He was like, they don't love me. They just love that I tell stories.
Yeah, exactly.
That I'm their homosexual friend.
Yeah.
That I'm the life of the party.
The entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like, it's about me being the entertainment. It's not about them truly loving me. And so that's kind of sad, when you think about it. And so basically it goes into how he wrote this article about the Swans. So think about you having your bestest friends, the friends that you love more than life, and you know all their secrets, right?
But are they really my best friends, or am I thinking that they are just using me?
This is it. So here's the thing. The way that this documentary kind of spells it out is that he feels as though his mother, who went to New York City to basically try to make a better life for herself, try to become a socialite, married a guy who was wealthy and brought him there. He realized that his mother was shunned by a lot of the socialite ladies.
That makes sense for that part of the show.
Yes, exactly. In the New York scene. So therefore, it's a twofold or two-pronged approach, right? So he starts off with wanting to get to know everybody for the purpose of destroying everybody. Like that was just his original plan. However, he made some true and genuine friends, like Birdie, is that her name? Like the one that
the one that he was talking about, the one that he wrote about.
Well, he wrote about a bunch of them.
I mean, but the one that he wrote about,
the main one that he wrote about with the husband that cheated on her, and so which I didn't know that was Pelly from CBS News, like CBS. Like,
see, I don't know nothing about this stuff. So I'm gonna have to look into this.
So this was pretty good because I was like, oh, Pelly, I've heard of them talking about somebody Pelly with CBS. Like, so yeah, that's how he got his fortune and stuff. So anyway, so I can't remember what his first name is. Charles Pelly, somebody Pelly. Okay. Anyway, allegedly. So he. I know, I just threw that in there. But anyway, so I think that was his original plan. Let me go ahead and do this. So then he got to know these women, got to talk with them, interact with them. Like Birdie was somebody every single morning he got up and talked to. He would stay in the bed sometimes and like her husband is like, I guess I'm not going to bed tonight because the two of them are just gabbing and girlfriend chit-chatting and all this kind of stuff. And no men were jealous of him. You know,
but so they're just like, all right,
so they're like, okay, but not realizing that their wives are telling all their secrets.
All your business.
All the business.
About your companies,
about your affairs,
about
the side pieces, the husband who's been pregnant, who's got all these things, right? And so what he did when he wrote that story and put it out there, everybody was wondering, why are you doing it just for the fame? Like, are you eager for fame and you're so hungry for fame and people to give you accolades that you would literally run a bus over your friends, back it up, run it over them again, throw them in the ditch, like, you know, basically like destroy and annihilate all your relationships. Yeah. And interestingly enough, in this documentary, they say that it wasn't really as much to belittle his friends, especially somebody like Birdie, that it was actually his own way of trying to empower them by calling out the dirty deeds of their husbands. So it's almost like, you told me this stuff. Like, just think of it from a twisted mind. Let's say it like that.
That's what I'm trying to do.
It's like, you told me all this stuff. You're not strong enough
to get
out of this. To get to the point that you could leave him, take everything, like you.
But they don't want to.
They don't want to. Yeah. That's the part.
They don't want. They just want to sit there and look pretty while the men do all the work and everything.
They don't want to lose the power. Yeah,
he
thought the empowerment was more important. Like, I'm trying to help my girlfriends by exposing their filthy husbands. Mm-hmm. I'm not even paying attention to the fact that in exposing their filthy husbands, it's also going to expose what my friend has been putting up with all this time and how they're going to look in society. Mm-hmm. So some of the people he actually would change the name. So he was hoping that nobody would know that this is Birdie. Like, you know, and like one of the people in the documentary said, they were like, well, he said, think about it. If they say something and it's so salacious and you're like, oh, wow, I wonder who they're talking about.
It's like The Help.
No, but I'm saying if they're like, oh, who were they talking about? Then people might think, oh, I thought they were talking about you, but you're wanting to know too.
It's like The Help.
Then you're not. It's not about you. But he said instead, all these women were like, I can't believe he put my information out there in the street, and it's like, well, you just told on yourself. He never named you per se.
Yeah, if he named you, then
he did name somebody because he said that the woman was a murderess. And she killed her husband.
Oh yeah, that's how the show starts. That's how Swan starts.
But what I'm saying is that, like, that the whole documentary really goes into that, and other people are chiming in from back then. Like, they talk to, you hear Birdie's voice. You hear, what's the other one's name with the weird name? It was one like not Scotty or Pepper or Peeps or something. It was something weird like that. Like some weird name that the lady had. Frenchie, I don't know. Anyway, it's some lady, and so you hear their voices, and one lady, I can't believe he did that to Anne. I can't believe that he did, and one was Leonora. I remember that because I'm like, oh, I'm Lenora, so it was Leonora, and so it was like, I can't believe that he did that to her. And Anne ended up committing suicide, and in the process of doing that, even the articles in the New Yorker and different papers were like, it was Truman's fault. You know, basically, was what people were saying, because he pretty much was saying that she killed her husband on purpose. Slim, that was it. I knew it was some weird name. And so anyway,
CZ, like, why would you go? Yeah, call me CZ. I understand that's your initials.
Yeah. But that's what she wanted to be called. So you know, then the end.
Oh my God, and Callista Flockhart hadn't seen her forever. But continue, go ahead about this.
Exactly. Well, Demi Moore hadn't seen her act in a while either. So yeah,
she actually doesn't look bad. I thought she would have done more to her face.
No, she
like
looks
everybody
great.
else has been doing all this crap to their face. So
she
thank God
looks
she
good. So lo and behold, come to find out that Breakfast at Tiffany's was specifically written about his mom and her experience of leaving from a small town and going to New York City and meeting a rich man and becoming married and wonderful. However, it was supposed to be the story of a prostitute, is my understanding. I never watched the whole movie. I've seen bits and pieces of it. So anyway, so that's what it was supposed to be, the story of that, and then moving on from there. Then also come to find out, if you watch To Kill a Mockingbird or read that, and they have the pesky little neighbor, the young boy who's the neighbor of Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's the whole story of that. And but basically that whole thing was set up with Harper Lee telling the story, and the little pesky kid was Truman Capote, who lived next door to her when she was younger. So they were friends their entire lives. As they got older,
that is funny.
That was her friend.
That is funny.
Harper Lee, and the person who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird actually knew Truman Capote. And so, but they go into all the books that he wrote. He did one about a murder that took place in Kansas. They were like, should I do more about the ladies here, or should I go out to Kansas and follow a murder?
When he goes to the guy. That's when he goes to the guy
who is on death row. Yeah. And that whole scenario.
Didn't they become like lovers or something?
Oh my God. I'm not even going to go into it, but that in the documentary, and then how he was diabolical. That's the best way to describe him.
They said but it was like drop like a alcoholic, does like drinks alcohol like his water. Yeah,
like one guy said he came to my house. And no, I saw him on the street outside my house, like walking by, and he was barely walking, right? So he said, he was like, Truman, come on inside. Like, let me fix you some tea. He said by the time he fixed the tea and got back to Truman, almost the entire bottle of gin that he had sitting in there was gone. And Truman was walking out the door, getting ready to head back out again, and just keep stumbling and fumbling and walking his way.
That poor man. I wonder what was going on in his head.
I don't know, but they were just saying that he was like literally a drunk. And, oh, by the way, the person that he was his lover for probably the longest amount of time, who was a guy who was married with a family and all that, left the family to be with Truman, then left. Truman was abusive. Like, it was a whole big thing. They were kind of abusive to each other.
But the guy was younger than him?
Yeah. And
he's on the Swans.
Yeah, he's on the movie The Swans, and they talk to him in the documentary, and they show him in the documentary. He actually, his daughter is the very first voice you almost hear in this documentary, because she was like, when my father left us, Truman took me in. He adopted me, basically, and brought her to the Socialite, took her to Studio 54. They're showing all these videos of different things happening there. And then we're not even going to talk about the masquerade ball that he had that was like the top of the... They said...
It was like Great Gatsby?
They said to this day, there has never been another Socialite event like Truman Capote threw back then, where everybody, Frank Sinatra was there. Every single famous person you could think of. Him when he was with Mia Farrow.
This sounds like the Diddy parties.
It was.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
On that note, everybody.
It does sound like the Rock Nation brunch, though.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Everybody.
Well, I'm just saying that they said when you talk about the upper echelon of people, to the point that people were lying and saying, well, I was invited, but I was out of the country. I was invited, but I couldn't go. The New Yorker said, no, we're going to call you out on that. Truman, give us your guest list. And they published the guest list to show who actually was the top New York socialites that could get invited. For real, for real. So that is
so funny.
That's how powerful Truman Capote was in his heyday. And there's never been a party since then.
But I don't understand.
They had Andre Leon Talley talking. They had all these different people.
How is it that after he wrote about these ladies, they were still like... They still hung out with them. They still wanted to talk to them.
They didn't for a while, though.
Yeah, but they still for a while.
But I mean, I think it was that maybe they thought it was his best interest. The main one that
he wrote about, she was having the hardest time not to talk to him.
Right. And it's just because he was so enthralled and entwined in their lives. So what you going to do? So anyway, on that note, everybody, that's Sestra-Tainment. Thanks for joining us this week. Everybody have an amazing upcoming week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.